Did you know that there's a suburb just outside of Denver that's grown by over 800% since the year 2000? And it's probably not what you're thinking of. Well, some parts of Denver are starting to slow down or even lose population. These suburbs that we're going to go over today are absolutely booming, attracting new residents, new businesses, and skyrocketing demand. In today's video, I'm breaking down the top 10 fastest growing suburbs around Denver right now, how much growth these areas are actually seeing, what it really costs to buy a home in there today, and why so many people are choosing these new hotspots over the traditional neighborhoods Denver used to be known for. And hey, if you're thinking about moving to the Denver area or you just want a local expert to help you figure out the best spot for your next move, reach out. This is what I do every day. I live here, I work here, I help people like you make smart decisions before they buy, and I've been in real estate since 2010, helping hundreds of people make this decision. Let's get right into it, starting with number 10 on the list, Aurora, Colorado. Now, kicking off here in Aurora, it's a big city, so the percentage growth doesn't sound or look crazy at a first glance. But when you're talking about a city of almost 400,000 people, even small percentages means thousands of new residents. Between 2020 and 2023, Aurora has added about 7,700 people, growing by around 2%. And that's a lot of new families, young professionals, and first-time buyers moving into town. So what's pulling people into Aurora right now? Well, first, it's still relatively affordable compared to Denver. The median home price is about $485,000, which, let's be honest, is a steal when you look at prices in the city core. And that price has increased from $350,000 in 2020. That's a 39% increase in price. Now, you can find smaller starter homes in the low 400s like this one. And if you want to go all out, there are luxury homes up near $1 million and beyond, just like this one. But it's not just the pricing. Aurora's economy is pretty strong. You've got aerospace jobs at Buckley Space Force Base, healthcare jobs at the Anschutz Medical Campus, and easy access to DIA if you travel for work. Plus, the diversity here is a huge draw. A lot of areas feel like a real community with a ton of different cultures, restaurants, and festivals going on. Not just another cookie-cutter suburb, okay? So yeah, Aurora might not be growing at the insane rates of some of these smaller towns we're about to go over, but it's adding thousands of people a year and building momentum that a lot of people don't see coming. Now, coming in at number 9 on our list is Brighton. Now, Brighton doesn't always get the flashiest headlines, but it's been growing steadily year after year. Since 2020, Brighton has added about 1,700 new residents, growing by about 4.2%. Not the biggest boom on the list, of course, but it's consistent, and that matters when you're thinking about long-term value. So why are people moving here? First, price. The median home price in Brighton is around $520,000, which puts it a little higher than places like Aurora, but you're getting a different feel. You know, back in 2020, the median price was about $390,000. So it's seen about a 33% growth in median price over the past 5 years. Bigger lots, newer builds, more elbow room. And just east, you have lots of farming and ranching. It's just definitely more of a middle America type of a vibe versus the Denver vibe, right? Cowboy hats, boots, jeans, and an F-250. If that's your thing, Brighton is just fine with that. And if you're looking in the Brighton market today, you can get something like this single family home at around $385,000. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath at about 700 square feet. Now, on the upper end, in 800s, you can get something like this: 6 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3,700 square foot home. But price alone isn't the whole story here, you know? Location is a huge factor too. Brighton sits just close enough to Denver to make commuting realistic, but it's far enough out that you actually feel like you have some breathing room. Plus, if you're a straight shot to DIA and working there, it just makes it really popular for people who travel a lot for work. The other thing Brighton has going for it, well, it's investing heavily in new infrastructure. New schools, shopping centers, and parks are all popping up everywhere around town, which is making it even more attractive for young families who want that grow into it kind of community. Brighton's not trying to be the next Highlands Ranch, trust me. And honestly, that's part of the appeal. It's building its own identity, and people are buying in early. Number 8 on the list, Broomfield, Colorado. So Broomfield is an interesting place, and this one makes a ton of sense when you zoom out and look at the whole metro area. Since 2020, Broomfield has grown by about 4,600 new people, jumping from about 72,000 to about 77,000. And that's a 6.4% population increase. And honestly, it's one of the most strategic growth spots in the Denver metro right now. So what's driving all the growth? Well, first, let's talk about location. Broomfield sits right between Denver and Boulder, which means whether you work in tech, government, education, healthcare, whatever, you've got easy access both directions. And for people who want to avoid downtown pricing and downtown headaches, this place is kind of a sweet spot. Second, job growth. Broomfield has quietly built a strong local economy. You've got a bunch of major employees here. Ball Aerospace, Oracle, Vail Resorts HQ, and some growing biotech and fintech sectors. The Interlochen Business Center is here as well that hosts thousands of businesses. That means people can actually live and work in the same place, which is becoming a bigger and bigger deal since COVID, right? It's just a nice place to live. Great trail systems, open space right out your back door, top-rated schools, and a more modern feel than some of the older suburbs around town. It feels clean, it's well planned, and it's functional, not dated. Now, let's talk housing for a second. The median home price is around $660,000, which is definitely on the higher side for around town. But again, it's because the quality of life is higher here too. Back in 2020, the median price was $475,000, so that's about a 28% increase in pricing there over the past few years. Now, on the lower end of pricing in Broomfield, around $495,000, you have something like this home, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,000 square feet. Now, on the higher end, you have a newer home that is just spectacular, like this at $3.5 million. Views galore, trails out your back door, plenty of land, just a beautiful home. And Broomfield isn't just blowing up overnight, okay? It's growing for all the right reasons, and the people moving in, they're doing it on purpose. Number 7 on our list, Parker, Colorado, one of my favorite suburbs around the Denver metro area. And let me tell you, this town has been on an absolute tear in the last few years. Back in 2020, Parker had just over 23,000 residents. Fast forward to 2023, and it's sitting at 62,000. That's a staggering 153% increase. So what's fueling this explosive growth? Well, let's break it down. Parker has had national recognition. It isn't just growing, it is truly thriving. In fact, it was ranked number 2 on Money's list of best places to live in the U.S. in 2020. And heck, during COVID, me and my family started looking in Parker for 5-acre properties, but same thing happened to us. It happened to many people. The market just chewed us up and spit us out. But we love it out there. Location-wise, it's about 20 miles southeast of Denver, so you can get the small town feel with an amazing downtown area. In fact, it's on the top 3 most amazing downtown spaces on my list in the Denver metro area. So you have your own little bubble in Parker, but you have access to Denver when you need it, and there's money flowing into Parker, that's for sure. With a median household income of $130,000, Parker's attracting a lot of people with money. And then there's the quality of life here. From top-rated schools to abundant parks, recreational facilities, Parker is designed for families and individuals seeking a high quality of life. We take our dogs down there all the time to the Parker area to go walking. We'll go hiking down there often when we don't want to be in the foothills, and we take advantage of the mountain biking here too. You know, Parker really does have a lot going for it. Now, on the real estate side, the median home price in Parker is around $685,000, but that's offering a range of options from affordable family homes to luxurious horse properties. So in 2020, the median price was $485,000. That's a 41% increase in median price in just 5 years. It's definitely one of the highest appreciations we've seen on this list. And on the lower end, in the 500s, there's a newer build like this home here. And on the higher end, you have huge estates, horse properties, 40-acre properties, mountain views, and privacy with something like this beautiful home for $3.6 million. Parker isn't just another suburb, okay? It's a community that's been thoughtfully developed to offer the best of both worlds. The tranquility of a small town and the conveniences of a big city close by. Coming in at number 6 is Commerce City, which is a community that's been experiencing remarkable growth. Since 2020, Commerce City's population has increased by approximately 9,000 residents, making a 15% growth over a 3-year period. So what's driving this surge? Well, let's break it down. Location-wise, it's situated just northeast of Denver, offers easy access to major highways, DIA, making it a prime spot for commuters and businesses alike, okay? There is also a pretty diverse economy with strong sectors in construction, healthcare, retail, providing a lot of employment opportunities for residents. And then there's affordability with a median property value of around $517,000. Commerce City offers more affordable housing options compared to neighboring Denver, attracting a lot of families and first time homebuyers. So, in Commerce City proper, you do have a lot of homes like this one in the 300s. They're small, but they're affordable. And if you go to the Northeast, where most of the new builds are, at the $1 million price mark, you can get something like this 5,500 square foot, 6 bedroom, 6 bath home. Now, Commerce City is also home to the Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge, and it has a lot of parks and trails here. And then there's the ongoing revitalization projects and infrastructure improvements that have enhanced the city's appeal, fostering a sense of community and progress within it. Now, Commerce City isn't just growing, it is thriving with its strategic location, economic vitality, and commitment to community development. It's no wonder more people are choosing to call Commerce City home. Coming in at number 5 is Castle Rock, and let me tell you, this town is exploding. Since 2020, Castle Rock's population has grown from about 74,000 to 81,400 in 2023, marking a 10% increase in just 3 years. So what's drawing people to Castle Rock? Well, let's break it down. The location is pretty amazing, right? It's nestled between Denver and Colorado Springs, which offers easy access to both cities while maintaining its own distinct charm. A lot of money has also been flowing here recently, with a median household income of about $143,000. Now, the quality of life and things to do is probably the biggest draw, I'd say. Castle Rock has over 85 miles of trails, 6,000 acres of open space, and numerous parks, making it a haven for outdoor enthusiasts, right? Some of the most unique landscapes and views are had from most properties here in Castle Rock. It's also received a lot of recognition nationally lately, such as being named one of the top 100 best places to live by livability.com and ranking as the 15th best small city in the U.S. And then there's a safety aspect to Castle Rock, which was ranked the 6th safest city in Colorado by SafeWise in 2024, which just strengthens the bonds with raising a family here while not being far from Denver at all. In fact, I'm in South Denver, and during most times of the day, it's faster for me to drive to Castle Rock at 20 miles away than it is for me to drive downtown Denver at just 5 miles away. Now, let's talk real estate. The median home price in Castle Rock is around $689,000, offering a range of options from affordable family homes to luxurious estates. And if you're looking around Castle Rock to buy, on the lower side, you'll find plenty of properties like this in the mid 500s. And then on the upper end, the sky's almost the limit. But at $4.2 million, you have a luxurious home like this one. 360-degree views, 8,000 square feet, and finishes to match even the pickiest of buyers. Now, Castle Rock isn't just growing, it is exploding big time. With its great location, strong economy, and high quality of life, it's no wonder more and more people choosing to call Castle Rock their home. Coming in at number 4, we've got Erie. And honestly, if you haven't been paying attention to this place, you're missing one of the biggest stories in the Denver metro area. Since 2020, Erie has added over 5,000 new residents. That's a 16% population increase in just 5 years, which is wild for a town that most people used to drive past on the way to Boulder. So what's going on here? Why is everyone moving to Erie? Well, first, location. You're perfectly positioned between Denver and Boulder, and you've got access to both job markets without living in the chaos. Whether you're commuting, working remote, or just want to be near the action, Erie gives you flexibility without the headache. Second, the lifestyle here is legit. Mountain views, tons of open space, great trail systems. Erie is one of those towns where people actually use the outdoors. And if you're into biking, running, or just want to park nearby for the kids, this place delivers. Third, money's good here. The median household income in Erie is over $160,000. That tells you exactly who's moving in. Professionals, business owners, dual income families who want space and stability, but still want access to everything Denver and Boulder have to offer. And then there's been a lot of new builds over the years, which is naturally going to attract more people than it loses in population, right? And let's not forget about the schools. Erie pulls from both St. Vrain Valley and Boulder Valley districts, and both are really solid schools. That's a big deal for young families who want top-tier schools but don't want to pay Boulder prices. And speaking of prices, Erie's not cheap, but you're getting real value. The median home price is around $685,000, but you can still find starter homes in the 400s and some high-end custom builds creeping past $1.5 million. And if you're looking in Erie, on the lower end of pricing, you're going to find something like this home, a little under $600,000. And on the higher end, you can have an entire ranch for $7.5 million. You know, Erie used to be the town that people skipped. Now, it's a place they're trying to get into before it gets out of reach. At number 3, we have Firestone. And this one is just wild when it comes to growth. Between 2020 and 2023, Firestone jumped from just over 15,000 people to more than 18,500. That's a 21.5% population increase in just 3 years. And it's one of the fastest growing towns, not just around Denver, but in the entire state. So what's driving all that growth? First of all, affordability. You can still find homes in Firestone in the 400s, which is becoming rare this close to Denver. That price point has been pulling in a ton of first-time homebuyers and families that are getting priced out of other suburbs. Second, new development. Firestone has space. That means brand new neighborhoods, modern floor plans, walkable communities, and builders are still going full throttle. If you want a house that doesn't need work, has a little elbow room, Firestone is where people are looking. The median home price in Firestone is still $600,000, but you have a lot of options under that here, like this one on the lower side in the 400s. And then on the upper end, at $800,000, you have something like this 4,000 square foot beautiful property. Third, commute-friendly location. So Firestone is about 30 miles north of Denver and just off I-25. That makes it a realistic option for people who work in Denver, Boulder, or even Fort Collins. It's kind of a triangle of opportunity, and people are starting to figure that out. Then you have the community investment, okay? The town is putting money into schools, parks, and infrastructure. And that's attractive to young families who want something newer and more up and coming without being in the middle of nowhere, right? And finally, quality of life. Firestone's got a relaxed pace, access to trails and open space, and you're still just 10 to 15 minutes from big box stores and restaurants. It's that perfect mix of peaceful, but yet still convenient. Firestone's growth is no accident. It's intentional, it's affordable, and it's where a lot of people are planning routes because prices catch up to the rest of the metro area. Coming in at number 2 on the list is Castle Pines. And this one blows a lot of people away. So from 2020 to 2023, Castle Pines jumped from just over 11,000 people to almost 15,000. That's a 33.6% increase in population in just 3 years. One of the biggest spikes in the Denver metro area. So what's the draw to Castle Pine? Well, first of all, it's just a gorgeous place to live. You've got rolling hills, huge views of the mountains, mature trees. It's one of the most scenic suburbs around Denver, and it actually feels different than most of what's being built today. Oh, and if you're a golfer, yeah, Castle Pines has some of the best golf courses in the Front Range, including the Ridge at Castle Pines North, Country Club at Castle Pines, and Castle Pines Golf Club and the Sanctuary Golf Course, all right there. All amazing, not all public though, okay? Second, luxury growth, right? Castle Pines isn't a starter home community. The median home price here is about $865,000, with new custom builds crossing into 7 figures easily. It's attracting people who have done well and are looking to upgrade their lifestyle without going all the way to Cherry Hills, okay? And in fact, on the moderate pricing end, in the 800s, you have a beautiful home like this one. And on the upper end, you have some very luxurious estates like this one at $3.8 million. Third, schools and safety. It's served by the Douglas County School District, which rates high across the board. Combine that with quiet neighborhoods, low crime, you've got a suburb families feel good about investing in long term. Then there's the easy access. You're right off of I-25, so whether you're commuting into DTC or heading into Colorado Springs, Castle Pines puts you in a prime spot with easy freeway access, but without the noise and traffic of busier towns. Then you have room to grow, okay? Unlike some fully built out suburbs, Castle Pines still has space. Developers are building out master plan communities with trails, rec centers, and high-end amenities, and buyers are lining up for that kind of lifestyle. Castle Pines isn't growing by accident. It's growing because high-earning families and remote professionals are looking for that next level experience in their home, and this suburb delivers it in every way. All right, and taking the top spot on the list is Frederick, Colorado. And this one deserves it. From 2020 to 2023, Frederick's population jumped from about 11,500 people to over 17,600. That's a 53.5% increase in just 3 years. Let that sink in for a second. So why is everyone moving here? Well, first, affordability and space. This is one of the last suburbs where you can still get a good-sized newer home for around $500,000, which is also the median home price. You're not squeezed into tiny lots. You get actual elbow room. And if you're looking to today in the 500s, you have plenty of options like this 2,000 square foot home. And on the higher end in the 700s, you have this newer built 4,100 square foot home. New home construction. Frederick is booming with new developments. Builders are putting up entire neighborhoods and buyers are jumping on them because they're move-in ready, modern, and still reasonably priced. Then you have the location. You're north of Denver by about 30 minutes from Boulder and under an hour to Fort Collins. And so that triangle of flexibility again is appealing for people who want to live in one place but work or commute to another. Then you have the community growth. The town's investing in infrastructure, schools, parks heavily. They're not just building homes, they're building a full on community. You've got town events, local restaurants, and a small town vibe that people actually want. And then finally, there's the future upside. Now, Frederick still has room to grow, and buyers know that if they get in now, they're likely buying into equity, and that's a big part of the draw. Frederick isn't just growing fast, it's growing smart, and a lot of families are betting on it as the next great place to call home. And these are the places that people are actually moving to, where new communities are being built, where families are planting roots, and where future value is stacking up fast. And listen, I've been helping buyers and sellers in the Denver area since 2010. So if you're thinking about making a move, whether it's into one of these high growth areas or out of an area that's starting to slow down, I'd love to help you make the smart play. My contact info is down below. Shoot me a text, give me a call, and I'll help guide you as best as I can. But if you're moving here from out of state, there's a whole lot of bad information out there, and you need to know what the truth is. So I would urge you to watch this video about the biggest misconceptions about moving to the Denver area.